Hello and welcome back to another episode of World Tour on Football Manager 2021. Happy Wednesday. I hope you're having a great day. If it's not Wednesday and you're watching it in the future, I hope you're still having a great day. Since the last episode, we have played tons of matches. We started off with an FAI Cup first round match against UCD, which we lost 4-2 after extra time, so we got knocked out of that competition. Then we played some league games. We beat Waterford 2-1. We lost 1-0 to St Pat's Athletic, who are one of our opponents today. We beat UCD 3-1. Drew 0-0 with relegation rivals Galway United. Lost to Sligo Rovers 3-1. Drew with Bohemian and UCD. And then lost by a goal to nil against Shelburne and Dundalk. In today's episode, it's the final two games of the season. Or at least, hopefully, it'll be the final two games of the season. We can still drop down into the relegation playout places, but our games that we're planning on playing today are against third place Derry City and fourth place St Pat's Athletic. The run-in has not been kind to us. Now we take a look at the league table. You can see that we are still in 8th. We're still safe. We can't be automatically relegated. UCD firmly in the bottom of the table. Well, forever, I was going to say as of right now, but no, they are confirmed as being relegated. And Galway United are level on points with us. It's our goal difference which is keeping us out of the relegation playout place. However, they have played a game more than us. Now, we saw our final two games of the season are against two sides that are in the top 4 of the league table. Galway United have been a bit more fortunate. Their final game of the season is against bottom of the table, UCD. So it looks like we are going to have to pick up a win from one of our games, I would imagine. I can't see UCD beating Galway United. So this is the lineup that we are going with for the first of today's two matches. It is our usual possession pressing formation. We have Trevor Murphy in goal rather than Ryan Moore. He came to me asking for more first team football. Ryan Moore wasn't doing anything particularly special, so I've given him the chance and he's performed okay in the games that he has played. At right back, we have Rigodanzo. At centre back, it's Alberkis and Gebbie. Left back is Jonathan Sparazziari. In a defensive midfield, we have Dara Power. Is Esposito back? No, Esposito's suspended, I think. And then Conwy and Buckley are our two centre midfielders today. Promise Omachere is on right wing and Giorgio Kearney on left wing, with Thomas Breen up front in place of Gabriele Piazza, who is not nursing an injury, but returning back to full fitness. His heart's not full, shall we say, for the game. And as it is the final two games of the season, on the bench we do have the two people who are retiring at the end of the season. Yes, we knew already about Danny Morrissey, but David Cawley has announced he will be retiring also at the end of the season, aged 36 years old. It'd be nice for me to give them a bit of a send-off, if not in today's game, in the next game. But obviously we need to be in a position where we're not going to be dragged down in the relegation playout place for that to happen. So team talk time, we're just going to do I know a lot of you will be keen to avenge what happened when we last played Derry City. Go out there and express yourselves. Talk always seems to work. So first chance of the game, Rigodanzo's got the ball on the right-hand side. It'd be great if we could get off to a promising start in the opening 10 minutes. Buckley, nice pass to Breen. Breen holds the ball up well and plays it back to Power. Sparazziari found in a bit of space on the left-hand side. Can he get past his man? He can't. He plays it inside to Buckley. Seems a bit lost with the ball, but somehow finds Conwy, and we seem to be going backwards now. But O'Kearney gets the ball to Breen, and Buckley to Conwy. It's nice passing play, but just no through road yet found. Buckley back to Power once more. Centre midfielders and defensive midfielder just passing it amongst themselves for the time being. Giorgio Kearney plays it back to Power again. We're just trying to find that gap in the Derry City defence. Power to Breen. Conwy through to Breen. We found a gap and Breen scored. It's 1-0 after 11 minutes. And that could be the goal that secures our position in the league for next season. It was very well worked. We just took our time. Very patient passing. Breen coming back to get the ball from the midfielders plenty of times. And then Conwy spotting Breen's run. And Breen finding the back of the net. And it's 1-0 to Sligo. Goal kick for Derry City, of course. As it stands, we are safe from the relegation playout place as Gebbie plays the ball back to Trevor Murphy to hopefully launch another Sligo attack. Short ball to Gebbie. Gebbie plays it forward. Breen wins the ball well in the air. Nods it back down to Buckley. Conwy looks like he's going into a bit of space, but Buckley tries to round his defender instead. Finds Omachere on the right wing. Cuts inside. Conwy, nice ball to Buckley. Buckley takes a shot and it's just wide from Buckley. Conwy looking for his second assist of the game there. He looks very good today. So we reach half-time and we've yet to allow Derry City to have a shot. We have been absolutely dominant in this game. I think the Derry City lads might be on the holidays already, because I don't think they can move any further up the league than where they are at the moment. So I'm going to outstretch my arms and say I'm pleased with how things are going. Keep it up. And we'll take a look at the tactics screen. And I don't think I need to do anything at the moment. We'll just keep things as they are, keep things going. Hopefully, we can maybe grab a second goal just to secure the victory that little bit more. And we'll, fingers crossed, be safe from the relegation play-out place. So 7 minutes to go. We're still 1-0 up. There's a few players looking tired out there, so we're going to take them off. So Cawley is going to come off. Dara Fox will come on for him. Not time for the retiring Cawley just yet. And George O'Kearney will come off with Thomas Alua coming on for him again. Morrissey, it's not time for you to make an appearance yet. If we win this game, I will start both retiring players for the final game of the season. But we have just allowed Derry City to have a shot. But it doesn't matter because we have won. It's 1-0. It's a 1-0 victory. I completely was not expecting to win either of our games today. But that has secured our status as an Irish Premier League side for next season. Well done, lads. That was a good win for us. So there we have it. 1 game to go for each of us. UCD, of course, have 2 games to play, but they can't move anywhere. They are firmly rooted to the bottom of the table. A Galway United win in their last game and we lose. Doesn't matter unless they win by 15-0. Well, it looks like we're going to have to wait a little bit longer for the St. Pat's game. It's just been postponed. It's been pushed forward another 3 days. It was meant to be on the 28th of October, which is today. It's now being played on the Sunday, which I don't think is going to be very good for St. Pat's because I'm pretty sure they're in a cup final very soon. No, they're not. Completely made that up, I guess. So, since our game's been postponed, we will find out if we are secure from a relegation play-out place, which we pretty much are, as I said, unless Galway United win by 15-0. So let's see what the scoreline is in that game between the two bottom of the table sides. And it ends 3-3. So we are mathematically secure now from relegation, which means the final game of the season is just to celebrate the fact that we're in the league next season and also to celebrate the careers of Cawley and Morrissey, who are of course retiring. Here we go, the time has finally arrived. The game, which was meant to be played a few days ago, got postponed, but is now here. It's the final league game of the season for anyone in the Airtricity League. Well, of the full season, of course, Galway United will have to play a play-out place against whoever finished second, whoever wins the playoff, in the first division, which is currently between Cork City, Finn Harps, Drogheda United and Cabinteely. Next season, we will be playing alongside Longford Town once again. They have won the league, it looks like. And this is the lineup that we're going with for the final game of the season. We're at home. It's Trevor Murphy in goal, Rigodanzo at right back, Mann and Gebby in central defence, Sparacciari is at left back, Power in the defence midfield today, Conwy at advanced playmaker in centre midfield, with David Cawley alongside him in his final ever professional game as a ball winning midfielder, Toromino at right wing, O'Kearney at left wing, and Danny Morrissey playing his final ever game as well up front as a pressing forward on support. You can see why he's retiring. He's down to half a star. He's definitely not suitable for the senior team, but we'll see how he does today. We do have Piazza on the bench if it looks like it's going to get embarrassing, but I don't see why it would, considering he's a striker. So I want you to go out there and carry straight on from where you finished the last match, lads. And Murphy and Power, you both look very motivated. Doesn't really matter at this point. So we are playing in our home red kit today. I don't think we've let St. Pat's have a shot on goal as of yet, but it could come now. Williams with the ball on the left-hand side, gets past the right back Rigodanzo, but Rigodanzo comes back well to tackle him, and we could launch an attack of our own. It's Toromino running forward with the ball down this right-hand side, gets tackled by Rogers though, and Goma can play the ball forward, but that's intercepted nicely by Mann, and we're on the attack once more. Toromino just needs to turn, he's a bit slow, he's got the turning circle of a tank just there. Conwy though has the ball now, and he is going to find Cawley. Plays a nice ball to Rigodanzo, shows he's still got some technical skills, if not as physical, as Conwy gets a ball into the box. O'Kearney with a shot, and it's 1-0. Our form has drastically improved in these final 2 games of the season. I don't know whether it's because everyone else is on holiday or what, but we are 1-0 up after 20 minutes. We haven't let St. Pat's have a shot on goal in the 20 minutes of the game so far. Conwy with an excellent ball in. He's been making lots of assists in these last 2 games. And O'Kearney with a beautiful finish. So we do indeed reach half time, and once again we've not let the opposition have a shot, which shows that our defending is improving a lot. So I'm going to say you've played well so far, but there's still room for improvement. That lets me click it, which it does eventually, and we'll head to the tactics screen. We've got Gebby on a 6.5, Power on a 6.5. Cawley can't come off, he's on a 6.5. So might take Power off, move Cawley to the defensive midfield, and bring on Gary Buckley in a centre midfield just to make sure that nothing goes awry. 70 minutes gone, and we are going to give one of our retirees a standing ovation, hopefully, as he comes off the field for the final time. So we're going to change the centre midfield again. Cawley is going to move to centre midfield. Buckley to defensive midfield. We'll take Cawley off. We'll bring on Dara Fox. And hopefully there'll be a nice round of applause for all that David Cawley has done for Sligo Rovers. And now with 10 minutes to go, it's time to say goodbye to Danny Morrissey, a man who was top scorer for, I think, 3 seasons in a row, stayed with us when we got relegated down to the first division. But now it's time to say goodbye, and Gabriele Piazza is going to come on for him. But thank you, Danny Morrissey, for all that you've done. Let's just take a look at him. So I think it was here that I was with them. So I was with them for a little bit in this season, but this is the first season that I had them for the full season. 20 goals in 25 games there, 18 goals in 29 games in the second season, 12 goals in 28 games, which is sort of the point where you realise that he's starting to tail off. He's only played 5 times for us this season, not got a goal so far, but he has been a great player for us, and he'll be missed from his form earlier on in his career, not so much from his form recently. One last opportunity now, very late in the game. Fox has the ball into the box. Toromino's in tons of space, and it's just over the bar from Massimiliano. About 30 seconds left. Kearns is going to take this goal kick. Really, this is just a highlight to wind down the clock. So there is the full-time whistle. You can see our players making their lap of honour around the field. I don't think there'll be a cartwheel from Trevor Murphy today since we haven't won a trophy. But it looks like a pretty decent attendance, to be fair to us. There's not as many empty seats as there normally is. But a great performance. We've only allowed St. Pat's to have 1 shot. We've had 16 and we've managed to win the second game in a row. As I said, wasn't expecting to win either of today's 2 games, but we have. And I'm going to say, well done, lads. It was a good win for us. And there is the final league table. An 8th place finish for us this season. 5 points clear of 9th place. Kind of makes it look a bit better than it was, really. And there's the news item confirming that David Cawley has bowed out of football after his final appearance for us in the last match. He had 359 appearances for us. Was he a one-team man? One club man? I can't even talk. Wasn't he? He started off at Ipswich. Wow, that's interesting. But he has been at Sligo for a long time. He had a couple of seasons away, went to St. Pat's in Galway, but eventually returned home to Sligo and spent the rest of his career here. So a stalwart of the club. Is he in the club legends or anything? He isn't. Well, he should be. I am. Favourite personnel. Decent. And then there's the news item about Danny Morrissey. A fair fewer appearances for Danny Morrissey, 162 appearances for us, but still was a great player. And we're very thankful to both of you boys for the time that you spent here at Sligo. So for achieving 8th place in the league this season, we get a nice almost 100 grand, which will help the finances a little bit. We are currently 270,000 in the red. We're spending over our wage budget as well. Obviously, we're going to lose a few players at the end of the season out of contract and retirements and such. So hopefully that can fix itself. And hopefully the board can inject some cash into the club and give me a bit more money to spend in terms of wages for free transfers, because there are a few that I would like to sign. One thing I did want to do was compare our points total from this season to previous seasons that we've played with Sligo Rovers. So obviously the first season we got relegated on 32 points. And then when we returned, we had 34 points and stayed up, 33 points in last season, and then 36 points this season. So that's the best points total we've had as manager of Sligo Rovers. So slight improvements, if only by 2 points. Hopefully next season we can push up towards mid-table, if not higher, but obviously that's going to involve some transfers, I would imagine. And here is the end of season review that I've been patiently waiting for. So reviewing the transfers in, the board were pretty happy with the signing of Ryan Moore, content with the signing of Piazza, content with the signing of Conwy and Toromino and Gebby. There's not really anyone that they're delighted about, apart from Rigodanzo, of course. We've got an A+ grade for us bringing him in. The rest seem to be all C grades. In terms of performance, Ryan Moore, the standout there with a 7.01 average rating, but I think Conwy did very well as well. 3 goals, 7 assists. Very nice for the centre midfield. And Piazza grabbing 4 goals as well in his... He was only with us for a short time this season, so hopefully he can push on and get a few more goals next season. And then the loan's out. I'm pretty sure Adam Rooney's contract is up at the end of the season. Indeed it is. He's done okay on a 6.94. He's not played that much for Longford Town in their promotion-winning season. And then Michael Fitzpatrick is just one of our youngsters who played a few times for Drogheda United, but not really enough to be able to work out how well he played. In terms of the season's results, we were of course expected to avoid relegation. We did that. We got an average home attendance of 2,074, which I think might be up from last season. And the board were pleased that we managed to stave off relegation once again this year. In the Europa Conference League, we were expected to reach the second qualifying round. We did, and then we got one step further to the third qualifying round. Of course, we'll never forget the miracle of Sofia, the 3-0 victory after being thrashed 3-1 in the first leg against Levski Sofia. That was a great occasion, memorable occasion for the supporters, no doubt, and the board were delighted that we reached the third qualifying round, giving us a B- grade for that competition. They didn't view the extra FAI Cup as important, and as such, we got knocked out in the first round. And with the EA Sports Cup, that wasn't viewed as important either, but we did get all the way to the semi-final, losing, unfortunately, to Shamrock Rovers, and they weren't judging us on the Irish President's Cup, which we got battered in by Shamrock Rovers again. In terms of the moments to remember, our biggest win was against our relegation rivals, Galway United, by 4-0 near the start of the season. A match to remember was, of course, the miracle of Sofia, our 3-0 victory in Sofia against Levski Sofia. And the goal of the season was apparently Conwy against Lincoln Red Imps. For finances, our revenue seems to be a little bit down in terms of sponsorship, broadcast revenue, competition prize money, which isn't great, but corporate hospitality and matchday commercial and retail is up a bit. I don't think that makes up for the losses that we've come with there, really. That's like 100 grand lost somewhere along the line by not advancing in the competitions, not advancing in the cups, I would imagine. But looking at shirt sales, Man seems to be a bestseller alongside Conwy, O'Kearney, Alberkis, and new signing Piazza. And this is how we lined up. So our best team of the season was Murphy in goal, Kavanagh at right back, Man and Alberkis in central defence, and Max Murphy at left back. I don't believe that, because Kavanagh barely played, Max Murphy barely played. Aliwa, Fox, Buckley, and O'Kearney as our midfielders, and then Breen and Morrissey up front. Morrissey only played 3 times, so that's just a load of rubbish. And finally, the accolades. So no managerial awards for us this season. John Mann picking up the Fans Player of the Season award. Trevor Murphy getting the Young Player of the Season award. Ryan Moore being voted Signing of the Season. Bertrand Conwy, of course, as we already said, got Goal of the Season. He also got most assists with 7. Thomas Breen was the top scorer with 9 goals. Gary Buckley, most player of the match awards with 2. Highest average rating, John Mann with 7.1. And the most passes completed per 90 minutes, Bertrand Conwy with 56. Those were, of course, just the club awards. We didn't win any competition awards. Bertrand Conwy did break a record for the club, most assists by a player in a season when he got 7. And Aliwa has made his way into the Sligo Rovers overall best 11 squad. He's made his way onto the bench, at least. The only change in that this season. So we are in our club vision meeting. They are wanting us to play possession football, make the most of set pieces, play high tempo pressing football, and play defensively solid football. The only one there that I think we'll struggle with is playing defensively solid football, because we don't seem very solid at the back. Although the final 2 games of the season sort of suggested that we might be getting there. In terms of everything else, work within the wage budget is an obvious one, and minimum 2-year contracts for first team players. Yeah, okay, I can deal with that. So we'll just confirm that. I think I'm going to change the expectations for next season if I can, though. But time for the end of season team meeting. We're going to probably just have to say that we're going to avoid relegation again next season, because I feel like if I say mid-table, they're going to panic. So I'm going to say, looking ahead to the next season, I'm optimistic we can avoid relegation, even if it might be via relegation playoffs. Oh no, they wanted us to finish in the mid-table. Okay, I'll compromise. I'm sensitive to the opinion of the room, and if there's a general feeling that we're capable of mid-table finish, as there appears to be, then we should aim to do exactly that. Okay, it's not this meeting is not going well. So that meeting didn't really go well. Trevor Murphy coming out of it slightly positive. I don't know whether that's because I promised that I wouldn't stand in the way of the big transfer. It is because of that. So Trevor Murphy looks like he might want to leave. So one final thing I wanted to do before we get to the end of the episode is just have a quick look at the squad depth chart and discuss what we're going to be looking to get in the transfer window. So I'm obviously going to try and improve the goalkeeper situation because our best keeper is a 2-star goalkeeper, Ryan Moore. There is someone that I had on trial who I was looking at, Noel O'Reilly. Now, he's on a month-to-month contract with Waterford, which means that if we do try and sign him, he's going to cost £325,000. But if I can get him in on loan or something, I'm very happy to do that because you can see he's a 4.5-star rated goalkeeper. His handling's very good. Reflexes of 15 is amazing. Aerial reach of 13. There's a team interested in him, and that team is QPR, who are a lot bigger than us. So if we can manage to somehow get this guy in, I think we'll be pretty solid in goal next season. Elsewhere, we of course have Rigodanzo for this season. We're going to try and get him in again on loan for next season and extend that for another year. If not, we will have to look into buying a right back. Centre back seems to be a pretty secure position. If I can, I might try and get one more centre back in, just hopefully a 4-star centre back to challenge Albercus and Mann. Of course, Rigodanzo's in there, but he is our starting right back, so it doesn't really count. We do have, of course, Wells and Natsakanyan, who are young players who are hopefully going to get better. Left back, we're definitely going to have to get another one. Moretti and Sparacchiari were meant to be 3.5-star rated, but they're clearly not. They do have room for improvement, but if I can get someone who's already a 4-star left back, then I will do that. Defensive midfield, Albercus can play there quite comfortably, but Esposito was meant to be coming in to play there. He's not done great. Again, might be a position that I look at signing someone if we can find someone that's better than what we've already got. That's pretty much the motto that I'm going with for all of these positions. Centre midfield, again, I'd like to get another 4-star or a 4-star centre midfielder in to go alongside Conwy, if possible. Of course, Buckley is aging a bit. He has been playing alongside Conwy this season a lot. Camera has been brought in, so we'll see if he can do the job in pre-season. If not, we will hopefully be able to sign another centre midfielder. Toromino, I forgot his name there for a second, is, of course, our star right winger. We do have Aliwa and Omacheri as backup. Quite happy with those options. But, of course, if anyone better comes along, I'm not going to say no. Giorgio Kearney at left wing is our best option there. A good few backup options at left wing as well, but once again, any improvements and we'll bring them in. And then Gabriel Piazza, our starting striker, could probably do with a better backup striker than Thomas Breen, to be honest with you, so might look at that. But of course, that all depends on how kind the board are with money, because, as I said, we're currently overspending on our wage budget, only by about 30 quid, £39. Our committed spend for next season is slightly low, so we would have a budget of about £900 to play with. Could be adjusted if we get any transfer budget, because we don't really need transfer budget at this level. But we'll see how that goes. And there has been rumblings that there could be a managerial dismissal at one of our league rivals at Shelburne. Gary Howlett is in danger. They finished 6th this season, but if you look at where they finished previously, they've been in and around the top 4. They won the league back in 2023. It's an interesting prospect. They also have George Fuller, who has scored many times against us, but I'm just not sure whether I want to leave Sligo. Of course, the aim of this series is to win the league in every single nation that's playable on the game. So we need to move on with that, really, because we're about to head into our 6th season, and I don't think Sligo are a side that can win the league next season. So might possibly look at Shelburne as an option to move to if that job does become available. Another one that I'm interested in is Shamrock Rovers, of course, because they are the best side in Ireland, despite the fact they haven't won the league this season. They finished 2nd. Now, is that enough to get Aidan McGeady the sack? We'll have to wait and see. But that is it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel to get all the content when it comes out. Hit the notification bell to stay notified, and I'll see you next time.